Let's get personal with Latanya and Ray. Celebrity Media TV. Brand new with the drop, whipping up the lot. Yeah, I'm headed to the top. I bet you ain't know. Got nothing for the ops, ignoring all the thoughts. Yeah, I'm headed to the top. I bet you ain't know. Brand new with the drop, whipping up the lot. Yeah, I'm headed to the top. I bet you ain't know. Got nothing for the ops, ignoring all the thoughts. Yeah, I'm headed to the top. I bet you ain't know.
Hey, Ray. Hey, everybody. It's your girls, and I'm Latanya.
And I am Ray. Hey.
Ray. And you guys are tuned in to Let's Get Personal.
Powered by who? Celebrity Media TV. Hey.
Hey, Ray. Hey, pretty lady. How are you, sweetie?
I'm doing well, beautiful. How are you?
It's amazing how we just pull stuff together so quick. You know how us women, we wear more than one hat. So I don't care what we doing. And when we come on, it's just like, voila! Like people think it's, look.
You make it happen. If everyone only knew.
Yes. So you look beautiful, sis. Oh my goodness. Today is a great day. We made it another day, and that's always a blessing. But Ray, I am so excited about what we're about to talk about today because this is so much needed, okay? And also we know it's Women's History Month. So that is wonderful. I feel like we need to be celebrated every day. You know what I mean? So we just got to keep this going, and continue to love ourselves, love on ourselves, and do what we were created to do. Hi.
Hello.
Rosanna.
And we definitely have to take care of ourselves as well.
Yes.
Not only do for yourself, you got to take care of yourself, your health, and your mental health, it all goes together.
Yes, it does.
Right? Inside first.
Yes. And everybody don't like to talk about it. They do not like to talk about it. So everybody that's coming on, all our listeners and viewers, please share. And if you have questions, this is the time because we have somebody that's wonderful. So to no further ado, I know a lot of people don't know, you guys, but African Americans make up 13%, you guys, of the U.S. population, okay? Yet, of the estimated 41,000 psychiatrists in the country, you guys, only 2% are Black, according to the American Psychiatric Association, okay? Can you believe that, Ray?
Wow. Yeah.
And now they say we much needed.
Definitely. Wow.
Oh my goodness. So, you know what, you guys, to no further ado, we have the beautiful board certified psychiatrist. She is a speaker, an author, a podcaster, a consultant. We're going to bring on now Dr. Nicole Washington.
Hi.
Hey, gorgeous.
Hello. Welcome.
Ooh, y'all look good. It's late at night. Y'all this pumped up. Ooh.
All the time. How are you today?
Wow.
Pretty good. It's a great day. I'm not frozen anymore. We made it through the winter storm, so things are good.
Oh, wow. I'm happy. And you're safe. We made it another day. That's what I was saying. It's so wonderful. Oh, Dr. Washington, we've been waiting on you, girl. We've been waiting on you.
All right.
And she's here. She's here and ready.
So, Dr. Washington, we want to know, how did this all come? I mean, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you want to be a psychiatrist? What did you want to be? How did this all start?
No. So I did not. When I was a little, well, I will say this, since I was 4, I knew that I wanted to be a doctor.
Wow.
So that has always been it. So I had one of those cute little doctor kits with the little fake stethoscope and my family would let me work on them, and they I try to do the little reflexes and they'd kick the legs. I mean, like, my family let me look in their ears, and so they just let me do this. And so from then on, like, it's all I have ever wanted to do. All the papers in elementary school, all the what I want to be when I grow up in middle school and high school, always was a doctor.
Wow.
It wasn't always. And so I got to medical school, and I think I thought I would probably do something, I don't know, pediatrics or something like that. And then once I got there, so when you go through medical school, so anybody out there who has a child who's interested in medicine or what that looks like, you go to college and then you get to medical school. And then the first 2 years are mostly classwork stuff. You just learn about a lot of basic science stuff. And then the last 2 years, you get a chance to spend a little bit of time, usually about a month, in a bunch of different areas. So I spent a month in peds, and a month in surgery, and a month with the obstetrician gynecologist, and I spent a month on psychiatry, and I fell in love. Like, I totally fell in love with psychiatry. It just, I don't know. It was just something about it. Like, I enjoy being able to kind of meet people at some of the lowest times in their lives, and being able to kind of walk with them on their journey, and be able to, help them get better, whatever better looks like for them. Right. So it also, I was affected, I think, by the fact that I realized that throughout school, I didn't really see any Black psychiatrists in the area. I'd known Black psychiatrists growing up in Louisiana. I'd known Black physicians in Louisiana, but none of them were psychiatrists. And just so thinking, like, I don't think I've ever seen, and I had not seen a Black psychiatrist throughout my whole medical school training. And so I thought, well, I think that is a good spot for me to fit in, because there just aren't very many of us. Like you said, 2% Black women are doctors, period, let alone psych. And it's just very difficult to find, us to take care of us. And I don't think that if you have a doctor who's not Black, they can't take care of you, they can't understand you. I'm just saying there are a lot of times when us being able to talk to each other, like, I can give a patient a look. I can give another Black patient a look, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. Or they can say something to me and don't have to explain what it means, or what that looks like. Or I did a podcast interview with somebody a while back, and they said they were in with a therapist and made a comment about snatching edges, and then had to go spend a few minutes explaining that didn't mean they were going to hurt somebody, right? Because the white therapist didn't know what snatching edges meant. And so you got to make sure, like, I need you to know that I'm not thinking about going to hurt people. Like, I need you to know what that means. So it's just little stuff. It's just little stuff like that. Like, just having people that kind of get it or understand, understand what you're going through. And so, it's been a huge blessing for me. It's been very rewarding. I love working with us. Like, I love Black people. So I love working with us and helping us get, to better, whatever better looks like, and being able to accept better,
Wow.
And I'm sure that's a comfortable level too for your patients, because when you have someone who can understand and relate and understand maybe where you've come from, then it's easier for someone to open up to someone. And I know the stigma today is we don't want to go to psychiatrists because of the stigma, where they think it's a problem, it's bad. I deal with a son who has issues with mental, depression, mental health. So I mean, I totally understand. But that's why we love people like you. That's why we have you to help us. But how does it feel when you're like, what does a day look like in your shoes?
It depends on what setting I'm working in. So I get bored very easy. So I do a lot of different things. So I'm doing all kinds of things. So I may be on call one night at a facility in Georgia, right, covering the ER for stuff. I may be covering an inpatient unit in Wyoming of people who are in the hospital, virtually. right? Before I was traveling, but now virtually. In my practice, I deal a lot with professionals, busy professionals. I take care of a lot of doctors and lawyers and people who frankly have something to lose by being seen in a psychiatrist's office, right? You talked about stigma. So if I'm a doctor and I need to be seen, and I go to the local psychiatrist's office and I run into one of my patients, say I'm a pediatrician, I run into my patient's mom, they're going to be saying, well, what is Dr. So-and-so doing in here? Wonder what's wrong with her, or wonder what's wrong with him. Never mind the fact that they're there too. But they'll wonder, I wonder what's wrong. And so, people, there's that stigma. And so I take care of people in 10 different states and through my practice. So, that's something that I do. So I'm on the computer a lot during the day because most of my visits are virtual. So I do that, but I do whatever makes me happy at this point.
Beautiful. That's amazing. Wait a minute. Hey, Sheeta, how are you, sweetie? If y'all have any questions, hello, Dr. Charles Wilkerson. He said, hi, gorgeous ladies. Thank you so much. So wait, Dr. Washington. So where are you at? The different locations you're in? That is amazing. You in 10 locations. What state?
Well, so I'm physically I live in Oklahoma. I'm in the Tulsa area.
Okay.
So I'm in Oklahoma. I am licensed in, let's see if I can do it, California, Georgia, Louisiana, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, Tennessee, Virginia, Wyoming, and I just recently got New York. So yeah.
Oh, wow. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, you gotta text us all that because I know people are like all different. I'm saying, hey, wait a minute, I got somebody for you.
I mean, it's it's nice to just be able to have the variety. But I am on the computer most of the day, so telemedicine. I've been doing this telemedicine since 2017, so way before the pandemic hit. But this past year, everybody's become a lot more comfortable with telemedicine.
So right. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh shoot. So tell us, Dr. Washington, what is the difference between kind and nice?
So yeah, that's one of my sticking points there. So like I believe that there's a difference, and I work with people, and I work myself actually on a regular basis with being kind. I think even people that we think of as being harsh or evil, for lack of a better word, they have moments of niceness. Like they can be nice, right? Like they can muster up the ability to be nice to some people. But I think being kind is the goal. Like I think we should all strive for kindness instead of just being nice, because anybody can be nice here and there. To me, nice kind of comes and goes.
Yes.
Nice is fleeting, but kindness is a way of life. Like when you're a kind person, it people don't have to say, oh, but she did that one nice thing. Remember that one time she did that for that one person? Like they don't have to think hard to come up with the time you were kind, right? Because if you're kind and that's a way of life and that's who you are, then it's just, people can come up with numerous examples of things you did that were kind. And I think that is something that we should strive for instead of, random moments of niceness, like just developing a heart for kindness for other people.
Okay, yeah, because in ICU, I used to work with all my nurses, and they say, and so I have a habit of saying, hey, sweetie, how are you? And I know my mother, she say, Tanya, everybody is not a sweetie. Quit calling everybody sweetie. I'm like, oh, mama. So one day the nurses, they said, Tanya, that doctor is not nice. They're not a sweetie. They're called nice. Now, Dr. such and such, he is kind. So it was like they were saying, quit calling her a sweetie. She's just nice, So I was like, what is going on? Okay. So they had me thinking that I was walking like, okay, sweetie. And they're like, did I tell you she's not old sweetie? You got to know the difference. I was like, I just can't win. And so also, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, so what everybody's dealing with right now with COVID and everybody's emotional level, are you seeing more African Americans heading your way? Are they knocking on your
Yeah.
door to help?
Good question.
I am. I'm seeing a lot more people who kind of managed it on their own up until now, or up until this past year. So most people I'm seeing are telling me, I've had depression for a little bit. I've had anxiety for a little bit, but this past year has just been a little bit harder to manage. Now, some of that is the fact that the things that we used to use to cope, they've been taken away from us, right? So if you're someone who used to recharge by going out to lunch or going to happy hour with friends or having dinner with friends or visiting with other people, if those are the things that you did to de-stress and to relax you, and all that stuff was taken away. If you were a gym rat who, you would go work out in the gyms were closed. And so people were really struggling with trying to figure out, how in the world am I supposed to, how do I deal with this anxiety and depression or these feelings? And then they weren't. So I've seen a lot of people who that was the problem. Some people have turned to drinking more, right?
Yes.
Because they couldn't go out, they couldn't do stuff. So they just go to the liquor store, right? And they just bring it home. And because they don't have to worry about a designated driver, or they don't have to worry about, how am I going to get here and get back and all this stuff. They were going in. Like they weren't just having a drink here or there, a glass of wine here and there. I mean, they were going all the way. They're going in. So, that's been something that people have been saying, oh, this is a problem. And my poor people who working from home, anybody who's still working from home and has been working from home for a year, it is stressful. It is super.
That's what we hearing, Dr. Washington. Oh my gosh. Hi, Jamila Wilson. Hey, sweetie.
I don't even like to work from home. I have like this rotation schedule. I can't do it. 2 weeks. This is my second week. I'm supposed to be working from home, and I'm still in the office. But does that trigger? So, does alcohol trigger the depression? Though
alcohol is a depressant.
Oh.
It is a depressant. So if you drink enough, it will lead to depression if you start drinking. And the thing about alcohol, it's a controlled substance. So you build up a tolerance over time. You might get a good buzz from one glass of wine for a while, but then one glass won't be enough and you'll need two because your body builds up a tolerance. So it's not like you intentionally, plan to drink a bottle of wine a night and you don't start off drinking a bottle of wine a night, but it gets to the point where you don't get the same buzz with one glass, two glasses, three glasses. And then before you know it, people will tell me, they'll say, oh, I drink, I'm up to a bottle or two a night because they need that much just to get the same buzz they used to get from one.
Oh, wow.
That makes sense. It's almost like drugs. My mom told me that about my dad. Tanya started off with, weed. He never did cigarettes, and the high get kind of bored with that, and that's how he went on and on. The cocaine and all that stuff. Boy,
your body gets used to it. Your body gets used to it, and you can't help but need more to get the same effect. And if you start drinking enough, then you may get to the point where you have withdrawals during the day. Like you have to. You may find that you have to get up and drink in the morning just to be able to function throughout the day to get rid of the shakes or the, feeling jittery or irritable. So it can escalate. It can escalate pretty quickly.
Wow. So Dr. Washington, Dr. Charles Wilkerson, matter of fact, he is one of the greatest chiropractor doctors. He wants to know, what do you recommend for a grieving heart?
I typically recommend that we really do some reflections, right? When we lose people we care about, that's so hard. And especially this past year, so many people have lost so many people.
Wow.
And I do see a lot of people who are grieving. I see a lot of people who've lost loved ones unexpectedly due to this virus. And that's really difficult to deal with. And so I usually, one of my biggest things is just lean into it, because grief is a sign that they meant something to you when they were alive. And that's a wonderful thing. That's a blessing. If they were terrible to you when you were alive and you didn't care about them, you could not care less that they were gone. You may even be a little bit relieved. So just the fact that you grieve somebody that you are experiencing grief means they meant something to you. And so I usually kind of encourage people to lean into what that means, and to be okay dealing with all of the crummy stuff that comes with that, right? Deal with all the tears, let the tears flow. You can expect the first, especially the holidays, the birthdays, the first, Mother's Day, Father's Day, you expect those to be really difficult times. And that's okay. Like you feel that you can have days where you say, I'm not getting out of bed. I'm just not going to do it. And don't do it. You grieve in your own way. Everybody's different, right? We're all different. But people will tell you, well, you have to do this or you have to get over. And, I tell my grandma used to say, only thing I have to do is stay Black and die. That's it. So I'm going to deal with this the way I need to deal with this. So I do usually encourage people to lean into that, to embrace that, what that really means. And then to find ways to honor that person during those special times. So when Christmas and Thanksgiving comes around and Mother's Day and Father's Day and their birthdays, if there's something that person really enjoyed doing, say they were the cook in the family and they, used to make, this bomb, pie, you recreate the pie, try your best to recreate the pie. And, at that moment, you might mess it up, laugh about how they would talk about you for that pitiful pie. Go with it. Like, just go with it and lean into it and just kind of, deal with that and feel it all and allow yourself to feel it all.
Wow, that is wonderful. Thank you so much. And since Dr. Wilkerson brought that up, Dr. Washington, so what about when you're grieving? And I did look it up and it said something about sleeping. Your sleep patterns change. So my mother passed in November, the middle of November. And since then, I have not been able to sleep. And this is really messing with me. So, I am so great. I'm so happy that you came on. I just want to ask this one question. This is what's killing me. I just stay up. I don't know. I've never, Dr. Washington, the one in the family to go to bed at 9:30, 10. My siblings know they always up around the clock. My mother will be up to 1, 2 o'clock saying, Tanya, and I'm like, Mama, go to bed. So I'm in the bed, Mama, And since then, Dr. Washington, I've been staying up. I just started taking melatonin. And that melatonin, it does okay, but you feel some kind of way. Like I literally sit up to like 5:30. The longest was 9 a.m. And I keep saying, hey, Mama, like, where are you at? I mean, I know where she at, my sweet dear mother, but it's something. I don't know if it feel like if I go to sleep, I may miss her. I mean, I don't know. Like, what if she want to come visit? It's some mental, and I'm trying to break it. I actually be crying to myself like, oh, God, I just need to go to sleep. So I'm getting encouraging messages and everything from everybody. But when I get up the next day, I'm dysfunctional and I'm supposed to be doing a lot of stuff. And I think, I don't know what it is. I have not been able to sleep.
So have you had any kind of grief counseling? Have you thought about seeing a therapist or trying to, talk through some stuff? Because that just may be the time of day when your brain just finally is quiet enough for you. Because you probably go all day, right? Like you go. And then nighttime is the one time when it's quiet and you're left with your thoughts. And if you haven't processed through your thoughts, so I would recommend thinking about that. There's nothing wrong with, short term, trying something over the counter for sleep to maybe get you reset if that's what you need to do. But if it's, days and days of you not being able to sleep and even trying something over the counter doesn't reset it, then I'd probably recommend you talk to somebody.
Gosh, thank you so much. I think that's one of the thoughts. I mean, during the day, I'm trying to get through, but then it feel like I just get sick at night. Like I want to puke when I realize she's really gone, even though I know she is, but I don't even like to talk about it much. So yeah, but thank you for that. I needed to hear that. It's the thoughts. That's what's driving me crazy. And I try to shake it no matter what. I pray, sing, cut on, YouTube, the soft water coming, all of that. I do all of that.
Well, don't turn on the TV. Don't get on your phone. If you are having trouble sleeping, there's some environmental things. You want to make sure the temperature is right. You want to make sure it's not too hot, a little bit cooler. You want to make sure you're not taking in a lot of caffeine. late in the evening. You know, make sure you're not working out too late at night, things like that.
I know I did get up one time in the middle of the night. I'm like doing my typo. I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta go.
Now you're not gonna fall asleep doing typo at midnight. You're not gonna
Thank you very much for that.
You're not gonna fall asleep doing typo at midnight. But I do recommend get a book. Not YouTube or your phone. Like you don't want that light you don't want that light. You want like I tell people get a book. Just get a boring book. Nothing too exciting. Just get a book. Just get a flip the pages book, lots of words, not a lot of pictures. Like you just wanna be able to just read and kind of relax, not typo. But
you don't want to hype yourself up.
You want to keep things low. Yeah.
And Dr. Washington's so right. I'm sure when she was in the school, you had to do them classes, but when you had to read that book, you're like,
yep.
So yeah, I understand.
I know what book to tell them to read.
Right, exactly.
So I have a question, Dr. Washington. Okay, so when it comes to children dealing with depression or any type of mental illness, there's always the scariness from a parent where we don't really want to bring our children to see a psychiatrist because we're afraid that they're going to put them on medication. So can you talk to our listeners and viewers a little bit about that it's okay, that they're not going to go and, pump their children with this medication? Can you clarify that?
So when you take your kid for an evaluation, it should be a good evaluation, right? And any good child psychiatrist or therapist should be able to evaluate and really give you a reasonable plan, right? A reasonable plan does not include a ton of medication, especially not out the gate. Okay. They just met your kiddo. So it should take a little time. Therapy is appropriate for a lot of things, but sometimes therapy isn't appropriate. And sometimes you do need to listen to that professional. Because more than we need to be concerned about our kids taking medicine, we need to be concerned about their functioning. So I would give my kid 5 meds a day if I had to, if that's what it took for them to function and for them to be able to be in control of their emotions and to be able to do okay in school and to be able to get along with people and to work, and to work on that. And I say 5, not 5, but I wouldn't hesitate if I thought that's what they needed to do better, like to be able to feel better and to do better. Because a lot of times when kids are struggling mentally, it's affecting them at school, it's affecting them socially, right? And social is everything to children. It's affecting them and how they learn and how they, we just need to, I think, we need to take a step back. And I get it. It's our kids. Like I have kids. I know what that's like. But sometimes we get so bogged down where we don't want our kids on medicine. We're killing ourselves to keep them off medicine. The teachers killing themselves to keep them off medicine. The kids working extra hard and the kids feeling bad about themselves because they can't seem to pull it together. So we're working so hard. And medicine is not the answer for everybody. And it's not always the first answer. But if it's brought up, I think you should at least consider it and, make sure you're seeing somebody you trust and you feel like can really talk to you in words you get and understand. Because I think trust is where the problem comes in.
And that's the key word is trust, because, I know a few people who have dealt with that, and the doctors that they were dealing with, the first thing they want to do is it was like there was a number. They didn't really take time with the child. And then what happens, we're running from it, but then the children are growing up to be dysfunctional adults. And that's kind of what we're seeing now in today's day and age. But I'm glad people are coming around, though. People are starting to come around. So that's
right. But when we don't deal with stuff, it will continue. It doesn't just go away when we don't deal with it. We have to realize that our kids are going through a lot, especially this past year, right? Like our kids have struggled quite a bit this past year. And it's just important for us to know that, we have to stop. We have to stop telling our kids that they don't have a reason to be depressed, or what do you have to be anxious for?
Thank you.
Or we just have to stop that part, right? Like, no, we got to stop. Like, we got to quit invalidating our kids' feelings. If a child tells us that they're, depressed or anxious or thinking about killing themselves or having trouble, we need to listen to what they're really saying and not just kind of dismiss them with what you got to be depressed about. You don't even pay the bills. You living here, you rent free. You got everything you need. You got everything you got everything you need and most of what you want. You right here complain, and it's not about complaining. I mean, depression,
it's what they feel.
It's how they feel. So I would, spend a little more time listening to what exactly it is that they're saying, and not being dismissive, because it's important.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's our popular words too, Dr. Washington. And I know they had gave my son 2 medications. So yes, Ray, they're gonna give them medication like ASAP. The problem is our kids, they're too cool, they're in denial, they don't want nobody to know about it. So even when they do get the meds, they don't want to take it. And then it end up still falling on us parents. Now no matter how old your child is, it's still falling on the mother or the father, and it gets to the point where you want to say you need your meds, like Dr. Washington was saying, so you could focus. You're hearing stuff. Nobody is talking about you. Nobody is this. You're handsome. You're smart. You know what I mean? But they do not want to take the medication. So it's like just a continuing cycle.
To us when we say that, it's deeper.
Yeah.
And I think it's deeper, because no matter how much you say you're smart, you're this, you're that, it's like it started with mine at a young age, elementary school, and I never knew it. So can you tell our listening viewers what signs should they look for? Because I missed every single sign.
That's good.
Signs of like depression or
Yes.
So a lot of times, younger, kids and teenagers, it may just be irritable, right? Like so sometimes those kids get labeled as just kind of acting out or being bad kids, or just, talking back and being angry and biting, and you think, what's wrong with them? But everybody's depression isn't sad and crying, and kids don't always have the words to say, this is how I'm feeling. So it may just come out as frustration and anger. It may come out as acting out, being withdrawn, not hanging out with the family, So instead of, saying, oh, they're just antisocial, right? Like that's what I hear a lot of parents say. Oh, they just they don't like to be around everybody else. They just, they like to keep to themselves. Let's make sure that's just personality and not a sign of something bigger, right? So, they're withdrawing or isolating, or they're angry and talking back and being rude and disrespectful. Like, what, where's that coming from? So, anger is not a primary emotion. So when somebody's angry and irritable and, really just not a nice person to be around, there's probably something else going on underneath that. So maybe taking a little time to ask, like, what's going on? Just asking. A lot of times we don't ask because we don't know what to say, how to say it, but we have to ask. And that's why somebody said therapy is a must. Absolutely. Yes. Therapy is a must, even for your children, because they don't always have the words. So teaching them how to get the words to be able to express themselves and to navigate those feelings early can save them a whole lot of heartache on the back end.
Wow, that is good. Oh gosh, is good. Thank you so much, Jamila Wilson. You are awesome. I love you, beautiful. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Washington, is it a good thing when the kids talk? Because, okay, in your practice, do you get children where you're concerned, but you're kind of happy that they're talking about it? Because I used to always hear, Tanya, they're not going to kill themselves because they're telling you they're going to kill themselves. If they're going to kill themselves, they're just going to go do it quietly. So
I don't see kids. I will say this. I don't see a lot of children. Children are not my thing.
Okay.
I take care of the adults, but I will say this. I take care of a lot of parents. And I have taken care of some teens. Sometimes people do tell you. Sometimes they tell you what it is because they're looking for some help. They're looking for help. Somebody mentioned that a lot of kids are fearful to speak about their emotions. That's true. Sometimes they just hold it in. But some of them are, especially if they've said, I'm depressed or I'm sad, and you've been dismissive, they may then come back with, oh, and now I'm suicidal, because they want the help. They want you to help them. So I would listen. I don't think anybody, like, when somebody mentions something about killing themselves, I never dismiss it. And I don't recommend that any parents don't dismiss it. Like, they need to be seeing somebody or talking to somebody. And you may not have the tools to help your child. Like, let's just face it. All parents do not have the tools to help their kids navigate depression and anxiety, but that's why there are professionals in the world. So, you don't have to fix it.
Because we think we could save them. That is so true, Dr. Washington. Wow. That's good. Oh, girl, I love you, okay? I love it. And also, Dr. Washington, so your favorite thing, you love to cook. Is that like a release? Is that like your counseling to you? Or
Oh, it is 100%. 100%. If I can be in the kitchen, if I would not have gone to medical school, I would have gone to culinary school. Like, I absolutely love. I grew up in Louisiana, so I love cooking that kind of. I mean, I do enjoy being in the kitchen. I do.
Yeah, she cook for real.
I do cook for real. But yeah, no, it is my thing. And everybody should have a thing, right? Like, you should have something that brings you joy other than your children, other than your significant other, other than your, job. Like, you should have something that you enjoy, something that brings you joy, something that relaxes you. You should all have something, whether that something is cooking, or you're a runner, or you want to do yoga, or even, coloring, adult coloring books, or calligraphy, or whatever that thing is that relaxes you. Like, we should all have something that we can go to when we need that release.
Wow, that is good. Because you know what, Ray, with Dr. Washington saying that, TT, my baby daughter, that's what she does. As old as she is, she's 27, and she doodles on like everything. And she's like a little small artist, but she have coloring books, everywhere. She's very OCD, keeping everything neat, but she keep her coloring books, like the grown-up coloring books.
I have some. I love them. I have some.
So it's just so much going on in those.
But that's what's relaxing about it, because your focus is literally on that one little small hole that you color in at that moment. And at that moment, nobody is asking me questions, and nobody is. It's just my time to just focus on that one thing. I have nothing else in my head other than not coloring out the line. That's the only thing in my mind at that moment. And it's so relaxed. So Troy, you ought to try it.
I know the books are so pretty, but she's like, Mom, take that one coloring back. That's for the grandbaby. I do the grown-up one. So yeah. So I'm gonna go look through them now. Y'all got me curious. So really quick, this has been amazing. We gotta stay in touch with you so you can keep giving follow-ups on different stories. But also, your motto is stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Tell me a little bit about that, because I've been hearing that a lot, and I've been telling people, look, we got to be ready, Ray. We got to stay ready. So why is that your favorite quote?
Because in general, I feel like there are not a whole lot of things. I mean, we're going to exclude this last year and this pandemic and the chaos of this last year. But for the most part, a lot of things we deal with, we already kind of know that we're going to deal with them. Like, we know when we go to that holiday dinner, we know we got that one uncle who's going to act a fool, and we got that one cousin who might drink too much, and we got that, your grandma going to comment about your weight and why you're not married yet and all this. Like, you already know what's coming, right? Like, we know when we call our parents, and we already know what it's going to look like. We know when we deal with that particular coworker, what it's going to be. When we deal with that boss, we already know. And so if we kind of know how to, we know, but every time we walk into it and we're upset and our feelings are hurt, and it's like, well, is that how they normally respond? Yeah. So why did we think something different was going to happen this time? Like, people, for the most part, don't surprise you. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. We know all this stuff. So I just kind of encourage people to have a plan, like have a game plan. stay ready. Like, stay at the ready. Stay ready. And if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, because you already know, like, oh, this person is not going to blindside me, because I already know what to expect from them. So I'm not giving them the power to blindside me.
Wow.
I'm going to be the one in control and in charge of the interaction, not letting them be in control every single time.
And that controls your emotion. You can control your own emotions.
Yes, when
That's
your expectations are right and you know what to expect, and you're ready for it. Like, you already know they're gonna try to offend you. They're gonna say something ugly. They're gonna comment on your weight or whatever. You already know it's coming. So you just be ready to handle that. It just changes your outlook on the situation.
So just be ready to say, I lost 10 pounds, right? As soon as
or be ready to say, we're not going to talk about my weight today. Like, be ready to set boundaries. Like, be ready to set, and you've practiced setting that boundary of, we're not going to discuss my weight. Like, that's not up for discussion. We're not going to do that.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Love it too.
We need you on our team. Okay, listen, Dr. Washington, that's a little powerhouse right there, boy. I can see us saying that too. That's what I get. I try to be so nice, like, oh, well, I've been trying to lose weight. You know, we be all nice about it. I'm doing one of Dr. Washington say, we're not going to talk about that right now. Oh, they think I'm just.
We're not going to talk about my weight.
We're not going to talk. Oh, thank you. We're going to start using that. Oh, we're not going to talk about that right now. Love
right. As Ray say, no, sir.
No, sir. Not today.
Not today.
With smile, right? That's right. Control your own emotions. I like that.
That's right. That's right.
That's our psychiatrist bodyguard.
That's right. Don't let people take you somewhere you don't want to go. Like, just don't do it. Do not do it.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. We are down to the hour. This is just amazing. We have like so many questions, and I know our listening viewers, they are so excited. So Dr. Washington, tell everyone where they can reach you on all your social media. Tell them about your podcast, where they can find you on that. Yes. Also, your
everything
on every social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can find me at Dr. Nicole Psych. So DrNicolepSych. So that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me there. The podcast is called The C-Suite Confidant. It is, for the busy professional. A lot of my listeners are Black women, and I encourage, if you go back and listen to some episodes, if you have an issue, a workplace issue, an issue in your personal life that you want to bring up on the podcast, go to my website, Dr. Nicole Psych, DrNicolepSych.com, under podcast. And there's a place where you can leave a voice message with your issue that you want us to discuss on the show. So we can do that. We'll talk to your issue, and we may even get you on to talk about the issue on the podcast, so we talk through it. So that would be fantastic. But yeah, just reach out, and I look forward to coming back. This was fun.
Yes.
Girl, we love you.
Yes.
Y'all go support y'all. Go to her podcast right now. And that's what I was going to say earlier. She is Dr. Nicole Washington, aka known as Dr. Nicole Psych. So you guys go look at that podcast. It is really nice too. I did watch like 2 of them. I'm like, okay, go. So we will be supporting you, sweetie. You are beautiful, amazing, and we are celebrating our beautiful Black women. So you are one of them. So
yes.
Yeah.
Well, you guys take care, and I'll definitely come back.
Yes, we'll be in touch, sweetie. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr.
We love you, and we thank you.
Thank you for having.
Oh my gosh.
She was amazing.
I know. Oh wow. So many questions you want to get out.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for her to go. I wasn't ready.
Me either. So hey, thank you everyone who has tuned in. Share. You guys go support the great Dr. Nicole Washington. Okay. She is an excellent psychiatrist. You guys go and follow her on her podcast. Okay. Dr. Nicole Washington and Dr. Nicole Sykes. So yeah. And also we want to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsors. Hey, you guys, go right now to www.mixedchicks.net, you guys. Woo woo! They have all the hair stuff for everybody, from men, women, children. And y'all know what? I cannot do without this. You guys, you see this little bottle right here? This has everything you need in it. This is, it's got a nice smell to it. It's not too loud, you know, and when you put it on, if you want to use it as oil, you can still wear your perfume over it, the replenishing oil. And also you can put it in your hair. How awesome is that? And if you have eczema, you can use that. It have the grapeseed oil. It have a lot of stuff in here. So if you have eczema, and this how have your girls, glossed up and not looking too greasy, but just sexy and cool. And of course, Ray, you know I love my shiny silk. I gotta have this, you guys. I got to have this from Mixed Chicks. So I cannot do without it. It goes nicely in my hair and keep a little gloss to it. And so also, to no further ado, we want to give a shout out to www.bobbybrownsfood.org. You guys, go right now, okay? Woo, woo! And Ray, what about the what?
The barbecue sauce. That's what I'm gonna say. The barbecue sauce.
I love barbecue too.
Oh, amazing.
An awesome one. So he's just not a bad boy on the stage, but also a bad boy in the kitchen, and his seasonings is amazing. And what I love it, they're vegan. So it's like he don't have none of that bad ingredients, and it's really good. So yeah, I love that. Non-GMO, you know, all of that. So you guys go support. Also, we want to give a shout out to Celebrity Media TV.
John Williams, hey.
Yes, woo woo, John Williams, NBA. Oh my gosh, they gotta go. What, Ray?
They gotta go download it. Right now, www.celebritymediatv.com, and you can watch just TV, just like you're watching us right now. Yes. You can watch it. So definitely go there, support your girls. You're gonna see us there. He's just amazing, doing amazing things. So definitely go check it out. You won't regret it.
Yes, and your girl's gonna be on there, okay? Just push the button under entertainment. We got so much great things coming up, and we can't wait to tell you guys, okay? Also, do not forget, go support our girl, Attorney Bernadette Clark Wright. Her podcast is starting, her talk show on March the 10th, you guys, okay? BC Wright.
Unfiltered.
Yes, that's
Unfiltered.
it. That's what I was thinking, okay?
Beautiful.
Yes, we're excited about that. And also, you guys, if you've been in a car accident, you need a personal injury doctor, chiropractor, wellness and health, it is Dr. Charles Wilkerson, you guys. He is at Stoneview Injury and Wellness Clinic, 1230 South Hairston Road, you guys, Stone Mountain, Georgia, 30088, and he cares about you and he got your back. So go see him. And also the telephone number 404-299-9066. And last but least, our digital marketing.
Pro Boss Enterprise, Conchata Hosley. She is a marketing guru. She will get your business in order. You definitely want to go follow her. You can see from what we're putting out how nice it is and how well put together it is. She can do that for you too. So definitely go follow her, okay?
Yes, she'll get your life, okay? She will get it in order for real. Just when me and Ray think we on the verge of a brink, she come right through and we like, yes. She's that kind of digital marketer. She's got your back too. And also fostering a nation. Woo woo! Joshua Etheridge. Woo woo! And what's that about, Ray?
It's children. All about the children. He's definitely fostering the nation. He has so much getting ready to come up. You definitely want to keep an eye out for Fostering the Nation. If you want to help out, send us a message. Definitely Fostering Nation is coming up with amazing things for the kids. So definitely keep an eye out for that.
And that is Ray love as well. Like, I love the babies, the children's, but grown-ups, adults is my passion. So Ray, the babies are y'all, but I love them, hug them, but they got to go back. You know, I stay in my lane. I love the babies.
I love teaching them. Yes. I love teaching them. And also you can get food from Big Bethel Youth Academy on Thursdays from 1 to 2, free food.
Oh, wow.
Definitely go check them out. It's on the corner of Arbin. I think it's Arbin Ave, definitely Arbin Ave. And you definitely want to go check that out if you
Wow.
want to get some food for somebody who needs it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, wow. That is amazing, Ray. You guys are doing wonderful, great things. So you guys, oh my gosh, we love y'all so much. Share to help somebody else. Also, I want to give a shout out to our media team, and one of the best is Paul Light. Thank you so much, Big Paulie Paul. Woo-hoo! We love you. Thank you for getting your girls together. So, Ray, where do they have to go? What do they have to do next?
So you have to go follow us on all platforms, okay? So Facebook and YouTube, Let's Get Personal with Latanya and Ray. And on Instagram, Let's Get Personal with Lana. Keep following your girls. We got some stuff coming up.
Yes, and go subscribe right now to our YouTube channel. We
like,
love
comment,
y'all.
subscribe.
Yes. Thank you. Bye, everybody.